A bill titled Bipartisan Bridge to DRC Act of 2024 was introduced by Michigan Representative John James on May 8, 2024. This video was requested by user Sheepyboy. Thank you for your request and engagement. I will start this video off with the definitions, as it will be important to understand what is being discussed. I will only describe terms that are not clear or are very important to the text. First, the acronym DRC stands for the Democratic Republic of the Congo, which is the second largest country in Africa. Appropriate congressional committees refers to the collection of committees from both houses of Congress that meet to talk about the issues and rules you will see in this bill. Critical mineral refers to substances deemed important by the Secretary of Energy. The criteria for importance is a risk of supply chain stoppages or are used in at least one energy technology like electric vehicle batteries or energy transmission for public use. This does not include fuel substances like crude oil. This bill states Congress has made the following findings. The DRC has been caught in the middle of several incidents of conflict and threats that have caused suffering. This coupled with in-house corruption has prevented the nation from growing economically and socially. Both foreign and local interference have been unable to fix these issues. Line 7 details some of the critical ores the DRC has, much of it being owned or paid for by China, called the People's Republic of China or PRC. Even United States-owned refinement companies located in the DRC were sold to China. This section details the conclusions Congress comes to regarding this issue. It is important for the DRC to be stable, for obvious reasons, but it is also important to the United States for both economic and security reasons. For those reasons, the United States should support the DRC to become stable. Some of these support efforts include ending conflicts like Rwanda, prevent the use of children for military conflict, protect the Congolese people from further threats, provide humanitarian aid like medicine and food stability, advocate for the DRC in the UN, and reduce reliance on unethical, unsafe, and unbeneficial gold mining industries in the DRC. This section details the conclusions Congress comes to regarding this issue. It is important for the DRC to be stable, for obvious reasons, but it is also important to the United States for both economic and security reasons. For those reasons, the United States should support the DRC to become stable. Some of these support efforts include ending conflicts like Rwanda, prevent the use of children for military conflict, protect the Congolese people from further threats, provide humanitarian aid like medicine and food stability, advocate for the DRC in the UN, and reduce reliance on unethical, unsafe, and unbeneficial gold mining industries in the DRC. The United States should also help promote training in more technological and skilled occupations to help advance the economy and working conditions of the Congolese people. This can be done through the investment by the United States with buy-in from several government departments, and to recognize how Chinese involvement in the DRC causes many of the issues the DRC faces. The bill covers the strategy that will be employed to take action on these policies. 180 days after this bill passes, the President of the United States will have a full strategy to help the DRC develop a peaceful democracy. This plan will include a long-term plan that describes the reasons the DRC voting system has failed in the past, actions that should be taken to prevent further voting failures, and the ideologies the United States should have regarding corruption, stability, and integrity of the security agencies of the DRC and protecting the human rights of the Congolese people. The President of the United States will be required to update this policy 4 times over 12 years, or once every 3 years, addressing any changes to the policy and how effective it has been so far. Along with the policy for giving assistance to the DRC, 180 days after this bill is passed, the President of the United States will submit a strategy to ensure the critical minerals and the related industries in the DRC are kept stable in the name of human rights and economic stability of the DRC. This strategy will include a detailed analysis of the influence China has on critical minerals in the form of financial control and market share of these industries in the DRC, and a report on Chinese companies regarding their level of human and employee rights environment. This strategy will also include a report on the DRC mineral industry trade relations with other partner countries with high market shares or illegal agreements with the DRC. The report will detail how the United States should work with the DRC and subcommittees to keep these industries healthy and compliant with human and employee rights. This strategy will also include a plan to bring together many different nations to help bring the DRC into the international venue. The United States will increase its investment into the DRC by helping mineral extraction and refinement communities, technical assistance in business industries, and providing staffing at the U.S. Embassy in Kinshasa specifically to support mineral industry investments. This strategy will be updated in conjunction with the previous policy document in the same time frame, for times over 12 years, or once every 3 years. Primary impact. Critical minerals are deemed critical for many reasons, as we saw from their description at the beginning of the video. These minerals are used in many new technologies and the country that controls these minerals has great influence over the rest of the world. China has many of these minerals already at their disposal and is one of the leading distributors in the global market. With the DRC having such an abundant supply of these critical minerals in their country waiting to be refined and sold, countries will begin to stake their claim as China already has. The United States, aiming to keep China from becoming the world's superpower, wants to ensure their own claim over the DRC is strong. Using initiatives like human rights and economic stability as the cause of the United States intervening is an attempt to disguise the true intention of utilizing the DRC for obtaining critical mineral. This point is not to say that it is wrong to do so, as global dominance is another way of saying, the balance of power that will decide what countries will be most successful in war. The United States being ingrained in the DRC will allow it to have easy and cheap access to these technology-enabling substances will give it the upper hand in the entire global market. Secondary impact. The track record of countries getting better with United States intervention is not something I am familiar enough with to speak on. All I will talk about is what effects proper assistance from the United States could provide to the DRC, even with the execution of these policies intended for the United States' advantage. If the framework of the United States democratic system is instilled wholly in another country, corruption will still exist, but will have more safeguards to a majority of the population to be protected from those impacts. With intervention in the economic sector, the country would likely experience a period of prosperity as resources and infrastructure are flooded into the country to protect the United States investments followed by inflationary symptoms that government intervention inevitably creates. With the mineral industry flourishing, and the economy on the uprise, the country will start to increase its standard of living, leading to an increase in required wages, and an inflation in the total market. This increase will start to affect the cost associated with mineral extraction and exportation will increase leading to less demand on the global market, stopping the price from increasing and leaving the country in the middle income trap, an economic development situation in which a country that attains a certain income, due to given advantages, gets stuck at that level. Growth will stop, population will not, and inflation will catch up shortly thereafter. This is all if the intervention is done without these considerations in mind from the beginning and appropriate measures are taken. Tertiary impact. The benefits of increased living conditions are abundant and obvious. Nutritional betterment, healthcare systems, secure housing, and public availability of increased technological access that leads to faster and more effective education and communication throughout. Quaternary impact. If the United States holds up the strategy plan of including other nations in the betterment of the DRC, the globalization efforts of the modern era will enhance and have effects in not only the involved countries but surrounding countries and partner countries, as well.